Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known, and we'll chase the night, race all of these broken dreams in flight, and we'll fly. Up here, we're free, bound only by frozen memories, lost in time, racing all these broken dreams tonight, and we'll fly.
team ban. Radiant team ban.
All right, good evening and welcome, ladies and gents, to a best of one in the lower bracket of the Dota 2 Gigabyte Challenge for South Africa. The teams before us are bzk up against all odds. Unfortunately, guys, I know that we don't have any team tags now. It appears that there might be some server issues. The teams can't select their team tags, so it's going to be a bit tricky. But for now, bzk playing from the Dire side, AAO will be playing on the Radiant. And the sides, well, sorry, let's go straight into the draft here. We have Leshrak banned out by the side of bzk. Lina and Quap will be the choices of AAO, and Winter Wyvern banned out by bzk here. So a couple options are available to both teams. Tusk is available as well as the Bounty Hunter, both very, very potent picks. Bounty Hunter in particular can really swing a game if he's able to get off those tracks, and Tusk I don't think needs any introduction. He's also particularly good against the Gyrocopter, able to just use the snowball and dodge the majority of the call down damage. So Tusk will get picked here by bzk in response to that Gyrocopter. AAO, I think, maybe making a slight mistake giving up both the Tusk and the Bounty. Could play heavily into bzk's hands here. bzk is a pretty decent team. Surprising that they're actually not in the not in the upper levels of the Prem division at the moment in South Africa. So hopefully they can get back onto course, and the Tusk and Bounty Hunter are going to be the pickups here for bzk. So bzk getting themselves a strong laner in the Tusk, a pretty weak laner in the Bounty Hunter, but a lot of harassment potential from both. Tusk can obviously rotate very, very early with the Ice Shard and Snowball. He only needs level 2. Once he's got that up, he can easily set up kills from both the offlane position as well as the support. So very, very good all-around hero. Spirit Breaker grabbed here by AAO. Similar kind of job to Tusk. He can gank very efficiently. Doesn't have as much teamfight presence as Tusk, but he does also have the ability to go through your BKB with the bashes. So very, very strong heroes here, both by bzk and AAO. Quick couple of bans that I've seen. Darkseer is going to be removed by the side of bzk. Maybe just trying to force Spirit Breaker into the offlane role where they can deal with him a little bit more easily. Ember Spirit banned out here, so I think bzk might be going for the PL. You don't generally ban out the Ember and Tusk as well as the PL, so as well as the Winter Wyvern, if you're not going to have at least a thought of going for the PL. AAO respond with a Storm Spirit and Anti-Mage, so it does seem as though the best option available for bzk will be the Phantom Lancer, but I mean, he is fighting into a Gyrocopter, which could be tricky. Gyrocopter is known to be very, very strong against PL, particularly in the late game when he's got that mass damage and able to just clear those creep waves so quickly. So for right now, I think AAO has a slight advantage. Their lanes are very, very difficult to gank, particularly for the Bounty Hunter. And some more more pickups coming out here. Lion gets picked by bzk, so Tusk guaranteed an offlaner right now. Earthshaker grabbed by AAO and just stacking a lot against any possible Phantom Lancer that bzk might be going. So bzk have a couple of difficult choices to make here. I don't think they're going to be very happy. If they do get that PL, it's just going to be so much fun for Gyrocopter and Earthshaker if they get that going. Mid's yet to be picked up here actually by both teams as well. Lina, Quap, and Storm Spirit banned out, as well as obviously the Radioactive Pony. So we could be seeing a Shadow Fiend pick up here. And remains to be seen what other ideas the teams have. Let's just hope that we don't see another Sven pickup, because that was not the best idea from the sides on Monday. Okay, so just getting some confirmation that the stream is running and 100%, and Shadow Fiend is indeed the pickup for bzk. So slightly weaker on the Dire side, obviously. AAO, I don't think they have many options on heroes available to actually effectively deal with Shadow Fiend. They can go for something like the Wind Ranger, perhaps. It combos pretty well with the Gyrocopter in tow. A lot of damage comes in through there. She's also got her own form of lockdown, so that'll pair very, 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 very well with both the Earthshaker and Spirit Breaker if they do ever decide to rotate into this mid lane. And Shadow Fiend would be under some severe pressure. He's pretty gankable. Doesn't really have the best supports either. Bounty Hunter and Lion are a lot more aggressive than defensive supports, although Lion can do a pretty decent job on that end. So I mean, Huskar's still available here, actually, to bzk. Again, admittedly, he's dealing with a lot of physical damage. Gyrocopter will be getting that up pretty quickly, although obviously early stages he's primarily magical damage. Spur Breaker can also be a bane for that Huskar with his bash chance. And I think that might actually be VZK's best option here, is to go for that Huskar. For AAO, like I said, I think the Wind Ranger probably their best pickup here. She's got enough damage in the early stages to actually out CS the Shadow Fiend. She can set up kills, or sorry, set up ganks on him pretty easily with the Shackle Shot, and she's not as difficult, or sorry, she's not as easy to kill as most of the Shadow Fiend's opponents, such as the Lina and the Stormsprint before level 6. I mean, Shadow Fiend can really just right-click them down. That's a lot more difficult when you have that Wind Run going on your Wind Rangers. So I think right now AAO looking pretty solid, but taking a very, very long time here to decide. I'm just checking to see if there are any disconnects, but it doesn't appear to be the case. So AAO just taking a very, very long to decide about how they're going to deal with bzk right now. The one thing I will say, at the moment, bzk, they lack late game here. Bounty Hunter can certainly help them out. Lion can do a lot of job. Like, they've got a lot of early and mid game fighting, but a lot is riding on that Shadow Fiend to do well in the mid lane. So if the ganks don't help him out, if he gets shut down, then I really do think that at the moment AAO actually has a stronger lineup to deal with than bzk. So bzk could actually get run over. And remember, guys, this is a best of one, so there are no second chances. You cannot afford to try and play with your opponents, lose game one and learn their strategies and then come back. You have to win here straight out of the gate. So bzk, I think, going a little bit light on damage for me right now. And even the Huskar, now that I think about it, he's going to be very, very weak against the Gyrocopter and Wind Ranger. PL is the final ban out for AAO, and Ancient Apparition is removed by the side of Berserk. So Berserk will most likely be able to get themselves... well, they're going to be grabbing their hard carry now. I don't think you can run a single core lineup. It's just not going to work. AAO, I think a Dazzle would actually work pretty well here. It's a way to prevent any hardcore ganks coming in, and I really do think that'll work very, very well with the Gyrocopter. You can also TP in to protect your Wind Ranger with the Graves, so that'll work decently well, I think, if AO goes for that one. Juggernaut is the pickup right now, as it does appear as though the Phoenix will be flying through. Spur Breaker, again, it's a hero that can for bzk, and he's also got the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's going to go for that mech, and the Juggernaut will be grabbing the early level in to really help everybody out here.
Prepare for battle.
Alright then, guys, so a couple of introductions. Again, this is the Dota 2 Gigabyte Challenge, $2,000 prize pool and online only tournament between the sides of bzk tonight and AAO. Again, sorry guys, we wish we could have team tags, but there are a problem with the SS servers at the moment. So team tags just don't want to load for tonight. Not quite certain exactly what's going on. Our lobby is also a little bit messed, but we'll get ourselves through it. My name is Prophecy, guys. I'll be guiding you through tonight. Solo, unfortunately, the Madman Reigns is not available, so AAO will be picking up the side of the Radiant. Loading will be grabbing that Phoenix up on the mid lane. It looks like Kritzy will be handling the Wind Ranger. Standout will be trying to do exactly that on his Spirit Breaker. Not a hero. Well, I mean, the Shakers have won $6 million before, so not a hero certainly has the potential to do that on his Earthshaker. Gaben Plux will be on the Gyrocopter on the side of bzk. We have Hurley, he's grabbing that Tusk, as we have a bit of a breakdown here. Bob Yules is hunting on his Bounty Hunter already, has that Shadow Walk going. Decap, the stand-in, will be on the Lion, and completing the lineup, Soda in the Juggernaut, as it looks like Bob Yules is going to not steal. Unfortunately, Gyrocopter does get it in the end. No, yeah, he does get it, sorry, never mind. As Hurley's on very, very low HP. He could actually die, but does get off the healing self to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. And not the best way to start off the lanes here. Sorry, guys. Completing the lineup for bzk ACG on the Shadow Fiend. So Kritzy, as I said, he's going to deal with a lot of harass from Bob Yules. Bobules can do quite a bit of work. It's going to really annoy the Wind Ranger, and it's going to help out ACG. The Shadow Fiend particularly weak in these early stages. Those first 2-3 groups critical for him to at least get some last hits there. We have Standout and Decap up on top lane having a bit of a fist fight, but Standout definitely going to win that one. As Decap not really capable of surviving those. Loadout, interesting that they actually put Standout here up with him. Sorry, loading. Interesting because the Phoenix is pretty prone to getting ganked in these early stages, so I like the fact that they put this tanky Spirit Breaker up here to help him out a little bit and keep him safe. So he's not going to be too troubled. I think once he hits level 3, the Spirit Breaker probably will move out. Spirit Breaker just trying to get the creep pulls going. I think just eating the tower. Does he get the pool going now? Has he timed it correctly? He has, so a little bit more XP will be coming the way of that Phoenix. Down on bot lane, gave him Plucks and not a hero. They're hanging out here. Cool as a cucumber. Hurley, he's basically just left down here to try and get as much XP as he can. In mid lane, it looks like ACG has got the creeps under his tower, and he's not looking too shabby at all for the moment, as he is currently in the last hit score 10-3 up against the 7-0 of the Wind Ranger. So as I said, the last pickup really rounding out bzk's draft. I still think AAO might have a slight advantage here, but it really does depend on how quickly bzk gets up and running. If they get a good start onto Shadow Fiend as well as the Juggernaut, then they can start really just getting straight into the faces of AAO, and I don't think the side of Against All Odds will really be in the best position here to deal with that. And there we go, Bobules sniping that courier with the usage of the haste rune, and that is immediately what you're looking for on the Bounty Hunter. He's level 2, but massive play there, as it is going to really hurt Critzy. He had his bottle, so it's not the end of the world, but it means that a whole lot of other items are coming a lot slower for the rest of the team. And bzk will be very happy to get off that kind of start. ACG, I mean, going for a fairly greedy build, the Wraithband as well as the Iron Branches, just to try and contest, have, make certain that he's got that early damage to deal with Critzy, since the Wind Ranger does start off with pretty decent starting damage, and her attack animation is just so good in comparison to the Shadow Fiend. And yeah, that little bit of damage there, power shot coming through onto ACG. He's not going to be too happy about that, but for the moment he's okay. Gets a little bit of a right click down onto ACG as the sound of a charge comes through. Spirit Breaker, who's he going down on? Okay, looks like Hurley will be the target at the bot lane. They do have a couple of stuns available, so Hurley could be our first blood. It's coming. Does the Tusk see it in time? It does not appear to be the case. He does get hit by the charge and gave him Clarks. Oh, almost that incorrect, but the stun comes through onto Hurley, and he will now be going down. He's going to use the snowball, keep himself alive a little bit longer, and just perfect timing as Bobules now comes in. They might try and turn around. Standout on very low HP. He gets off the charge, but does he have enough damage to survive? The chop comes through, and Earthshaker gets a kill onto Hurley. Bobules is forced to go into the Shadow Walk, and will make himself scarce on the bot lane here, but close run thing in the end. Up on top lane, it looks as though Lion's actually going down to Phoenix as well, so Loading gets a second kill there, and AAO off to the best possible start in terms of their kills, as 2 heroes go down on either end of the map, and bzk all of a sudden not going to be looking so happy with each other. I mean, they could have actually turned it around on bot lane, gotten the last hit themselves. Unfortunately, just too many heroes available, and Earthshaker making a good decision to get that last punch in there. So yeah, bzk, they lose the early exchanges. They do have quite a decent number of levels onto Hurley here. I don't think it's about the same as Phoenix. Phoenix obviously having that kill will make him a lot happier, and he should be getting up his boots, his tranquils very soon here as well, and that's going to help him out for the lane. And I don't think they're going to be making any real concerted effort to try and kill off Loading after that. Critzy, what has he got flying out to him? He's got himself the boots, so just setting himself up. Probably going to be going for the Aghanim Scepter first item here, and then maybe into the crit, or perhaps the Maelstrom. He's certainly going to be the one needing to do a lot of the early game damage. There's that short period between when Gyrocopter can basically, wreck you with a rocket barrage till and he can, effectively fight you with the flak cannon and a BKB. So during that time is when Kritzy will need to be doing most of his damage, and he'll have to carry that team, or carry the team for about 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, that's to say that he's not going to be carrying them the whole game. I mean, we've seen what Wind Rangers can do once they are super farmed. As Bob Yules comes in, just causes a little bit more irritation factor there for Kritzy. Cops a bit of damage. ACG comes in, gets off the one race, chases Wind Ranger back out of his lane. Just want to take a look at the creep camp. So he has been farming up here as ACG, but the rest of the camp's not that stacked, which is I think a little bit disappointing. Ideally you'd want decap doing the stacking here, but since they are so weak on the lanes, Bob Yules not really getting a whole lot done. He's actually going to spot a standout here. Now standout does know in the area. Hurley's going to start things off. He's going to get off the ice shards, and the damage is coming through. Standout probably not making it out of time here, and he's not even going to attempt to charge. That I think is a mistake. I mean, he could definitely have just charged down bot lane, but it doesn't seem to be necessary for him. As seen mid lane, ACG actually gets the solo kill into Wind Rangers, and that's actually a very, very big kill. That means ACG has clearly won the lane. I mean, just apart from the last hits that he's rocking at the moment, 47 to 11 in terms of last hits and denies. He's getting a kick that is really, really massive for the Shadow Fiend, since it's going to shut down Kritzy a little bit more. Up on top lane, it looks as though Lodi going to get caught out. The stuns are enough to deal with him as Decap comes in, and Bob Yules gets himself another assisted kill there. So 2 early kills as Loading will get a kill onto his Juggernaut, and like I said, he's going to be, as usual, picking up the healing ward, and they'll do a lot of pushing, I think, will the side of bzk. Just stack as 5 once they have this mechanism, and then they're just going to go have. Hurley is under the vision of a rather interesting looking ward. Okay. Very, very weird looking ward. It's quite a cute looking ward as well. But yeah, Hurley is about to hit level 6, and I think once he's hit level 6 he's probably going to start his rotations as well. He could have actually started them earlier, but not too much of a problem when the rest of his team is doing decently well. ACG continues to farm out the lane, farm out the jungle, completes his treads. So I think I'm a little bit disappointed to actually see that he's gone for the power trees. I mean, I really would have just advised going mechanism here. Then you, like I said, you just get the Juggernaut. He's got the healing ward, and you can then just 5-man into a tower. Nothing that AAO can really do at that stage. I mean, Loading does have the Supernova, but outside of that, right now, AAO isn't spectacular at 5-on-5 fights, so I think they could have gotten away with that, gotten themselves at least 1 or 2 early game towers, as it does appear as though ACG is the target for the charge. The charge comes in, it's going to land, and ACG cops the stun as well from not a hero, but the rest of the team is here, or it's just Hurley actually, and Standout realizes that he's in a world of problems. Tries to keep himself out of trouble, and it's not going to happen today. So ACG saved by his supports, and we'll pick up the kill there as well. Kritzy is going to be a little bit disappointed with that. That ideally wanted more, and unfortunately his shackle shot just not quite enough range to get it onto the tree. As Soda and Loading are getting close to one another now. Loading's got to be very, very careful about moving too far away from his creeps, because Soda can just turn things around very, very quickly with the usage of the ulti. In comes another charge, and they're going to actually drop the Phoenix Sun here. Now a lot of damage coming out of Decap. He's going to be forced to retreat. The stun comes through, and Decap eats a painful death. Lion very, very repulsed. There's Soda. What on earth is he doing? He's going to get spotted out and killed off. Loading picks up a double on the Phoenix. Just like that, bzk are back to even in terms of last hits. Might even be behind in the net worth. No, still quite a decent amount ahead for the stage of the game. About 2k in terms of gold and XP here. So bzk will certainly not want to continue that. Down a bot lane, Gyrocopter gets himself a free kill onto the Bounty Hunter, and slowing down Bounty's XP gain, which is very, very important. I mean, once he's got that level 6 up and running, he can do so much work with it. And lots of tower pressure at the moment coming out from the side of AAO. Gaben Plox is going to start working on the bot lane tower up on top. Loading busy working on the Tier 1 there as well. Soda's going to get a little bit of assistance now. TPing in is the Bounty Hunter, and they spot out 2 heroes. Actually, that's not a hero spotting out 2 heroes, but he's got no assistance, so he will go down. He's drop off a stun. It's going to get Decap, and he's actually played this pretty damn well. Running through a very small gap means that not a hero could survive. Not a chance. Hurley throws out the ice shards and finishes off the Earthshaker in the end there, as We've got 4 heroes up on top here now. I think bzk needs to make something work with this. They could at least try and push down the tower. It's on fairly full HP. And I suppose they don't really have the best lineup here. So they got themselves the 1 kill and will be moving right now. In mid lane, it looks like ACG is the target of a charge, as well as a bit of damage from Kritzy. Does ACG survive here? This time that shackle is going to land. ACG is not making it home, except in a body bag, and down he goes. Kritzy picks up a critical kill at the stage. 386 gold into his pockets as Bob Yules is on the hunt, gets the kill. He's going to throw out the shuriken and grabs himself a nice solo kill there as well. Close to level 6 is the bounty hunter. We have a bit of work going down here in the jungle, sorry, in the river, as Not a Hero is going to keep himself alive as long as possible. The shackles is not going to land, as Not a Hero is trying to heal himself up. Punch comes through from Hurley and they get a kill there. Kritzy's going to miss the power shot, and Bob Yules just throwing out a bit of damage. Another charge is coming in here. Bob Yules got to be very, very careful since he is on fairly low HP. Rotation in from the gyrocopter, just not in time, but he will grab himself a tower off the back of some creeps. And top lane, the death on the Phoenix. So action all around at the moment as bzk looks to just strengthen up. A somewhat shaky early game at the moment. I mean, they're doing very, very well in terms of last hits and all the rest, but ideally you'd love to be winning slightly harder than this. And yeah, Soda I think probably going to be going for the S and Y, just fight early and help out his Shadow Fiend, and then we'll be transferring into the late game items slightly further down the line. Kritzy, as well as a little bit of support, is arriving now as charge comes through onto Soda, and it is going to latch that shackle onto Decap. He's going to try and run. He gets off the chicken onto Loading. Load is going to turn things around here. They're actually just going to leave Lion to die where he is. The charge comes through onto Soda, but he does have the spin going, so no further follow-up kills for the side of AAO, and they will lose their middle tower as ACG, left uncontested, starts placing the pressure there. Not quite worth a number of rotations. I think it was a 4-man rotation in the end from AAO, and only picking up Decap there. Decap is level 7, so I suppose that's a bonus, but I mean, ideally, you'd love to be getting a hell of a lot more than just a single support kill, as ACG is also farming their jungle, so losing in multiple aspects on the economy side here is the side of AAO at the moment. bzk, however, completely the opposite, doing a lot of work moving around. ACG is going to start working on the bot lane tower here. He has that mechanism completed, so that will be up and running. Do we have TPs to the top lane? Bob Yules is actually going to get spotted out by the charge. He's going to turn around things around and throw out that all-important track, and that means that they have vision on standout for quite a while. We have Decap hanging in the area here. No ulti available for him, but the tracks have begun. As AAO needs to get something done here because they're going to lose 2 towers in the meantime, and they haven't gotten a lot in exchange. They're going to do a bit of damage, but do we see multiple TPs in here from bzk? I think they might have a chance at fighting this. We see the first TP. That's coming in from the Tusk. He's probably going to target Loading here. The ulti comes through from the gyrocopter. He realizes what's coming as Bob Yules gets ready. The snowball goes through. It's going to land onto the gyrocopter, and they will blow him apart before the rest of the team goes down. And Phoenix Sun comes through, but he's got no real assistance, and he will probably die here. He does go down. A good ulti comes through from the hero. It's going to stun up on 3, but the rest of the team is just not available to help him out. That is a 4-man wipe for the side of bzk, and a triple kill going the way of ACG's Shadow Fiend. Things looking very, very grim for AAO at the moment as they take a dodgy fight in the end, and bzk very, very nearly going down there. If that fight had been timed slightly better with the gyrocopter ulti on top of the Phoenix Sun, I think they could have actually maybe won that. Windranger also not available, costing them dearly, as bzk looking to take themselves their 3rd tower of the game and looking to power their way through the first round of the losers bracket here in the Dota 2 Gigabyte Challenge. Charge comes in. It's not going to land on anything, unfortunately, as he does cancel it. Bird flies through, does a little bit of damage to Decap, and Decap will be sitting on half HP and praying so heavily that he's got those tranquil boots running right now. Hurley on his way back to base. He's actually got an early pickup of the Blink Dagger, which is a good form of initiation. It's actually the primary form of initiation for bzk, so it's quite healthy for Hurley to have one up this early, about the 14-15 minute mark, and I think he's actually had it. I must be honest, I didn't see when he picked it up, but it's their primary form of initiation, so it is going to make a big, big difference here. Bob Yules at level 8, very, very close to that level 11. If you can get that, then things get a lot more ugly for the side of AAO, because level 1 track is good, level 2 track is when things really start snowballing out of control. ACG continues to find farm unabated here, and there's nothing that AAO can really do to stop him. He's going for the BKB next, which prevents a lot of their damage. They do quite a bit of BKB piercing though. Loading's ulti will go through there. Gyrocopter's ulti will obviously produce the slow through that, and he does significant amount of damage. Standout, I mean, he'll punch through. So BKB not as useful this game, but it is going to be a decent item overall as ACG. He's actually gotten himself a little bit too far out here. This charge is coming through now. He's got a long way to make it to the tier 2s, and he's going to pop that haste as he realizes something's not right. Spidey sense is tingling all over, and he'll run himself to safety. Hurley, he's rotating now down into bot lane. A lot harder of a kill at this stage to get on that Tusk than Shadow Fiend, as Shadow Fiend's just going to start farming up the Ancients here. So ACG doing a good job at constantly farming up. Gaben Plock's not doing too badly himself, but he is very far behind. Unfortunately, those kills that have been going the way of the Shadow Fiend, making ACG a lot more tanky to deal with. 5-1-1 at the 16-minute mark, so ACG off to quite a flyer at the moment. Pause comes through, gents, as it looks as though Bob Yules has disconnected. Hopefully it is possible to get a quick reconnect here. I know we had a couple of issues last night with some very long downtime in the one game. And yeah, I suppose at this time we can spend a little bit of nonsense time as let's take a look at the couriers. So we got an Iceling courier, and I'm disappointed, Standout, you don't have the gold one. I don't have the gold one either, but I'm disappointed that Standout doesn't have it. Up on the side of bzk, we have the Dragon Courier. Or not. What the hell's going on here? It's a Fire Dragon with a Fire Raven Courier, but doesn't appear to have its skill unlocked. So, Volvo, please fix, because that's not allowed. And I mean, I suppose let's take a quick look at where the heroes are sitting as a whole. So Gaben Plox has grabbed himself the Yasha. As I said, he's going to go for the S and Y, probably the best fighting game item. Actually, he's not going for the Morbid Mask, so maybe just looking to grab that Helm of the Dominator, get some stacks going for himself, and try farm off there. Not a hero, he's building towards that PKB, which is desperately important. Standout, he's about to hit level 6. I think it's actually a very late level 6 for the Spirit Breaker. He is a support, but you'd ideally love to have had it by now, since it does provide quite a bit of early game damage there. Kritzy going for the Aghanim Scepter, just trying to get his damage up and running. As we have a fight going down here, Bob Yules has spotted out at least 2 heroes, and there are a number of others in support for him. So can he get a bit more? He's going to maybe top Not a Hero, the easiest hero to go for in the stage. The stun comes through from Not a Hero, but he might be going down here. Charge comes onto Bob Yules. Does he get the ulti off? And ACG going to get hit by that Spirit Breaker, and the snowball's going to save his life. Down goes Decap, however, as the egg will go off, and they've spotted out ACG. ACG not looking good at the moment. He's going to get finished off there by Kritzy. Ulti comes through from Soda as he picks up a kill, and Loading, well, he's got nowhere to run. He doesn't have a lot to actually protect him here, but Gaben Plox is enough, I think, as bzk's Soda is going to turn around and start the spin. Does he have enough assistance to get the kill here? He's actually doing quite a bit of damage. Gaben Plox on very low speed. He will go down. That's a track kill on top of it, and Loading looks to be the last one in the area capable of doing anything, and Hurley will blink ahead and cut his retreat off. 7 seconds. Can Loading survive long enough? They're going to get the snowball onto him. He's not going to survive as Hurley gets off the ice shards and finishes him there. Hurley is being charged by the Spirit Breaker, but I don't think they can continue this, and it will be cancelled. So that fight would have gone very differently if AAO had been able to respond a little bit quicker. I mean, Not a Hero going down there. He did get off his ulti as well as a pretty decent Fisher, but if they killed off the Shadow Fiend before his ulti had come through, I think that fight would have been definitely much more in AAO's favor. But again, just a massive play there by that Snowball to save his his hard carry for right now, the Shadow Fiend. So Hurley making that fight a victory for his team, and buying them another 5 to 10 minutes of sufficient space to continue farming. And I mean, this graph is starting to look a little bit out of control here. 7.5k and about the same in XP. So there is a clock ticking at the moment on AAO's fighting ability, because Kritzy is still, he's actually about to hit the Aghanim Scepter here, yeah, there he has it now, so he'll be grabbing that one. But the rest of the team not looking too healthy. Gaben Plox went for the Helm of the Dominator, doesn't really contribute at all to his damage. And he doesn't have the BKB yet, so he's very, very prone to the magic burst coming out of bzk at the moment, particularly that Shadow Fiend ulti and the Tusk Snowball and Ice Shots combo. He's got to be pretty careful about how he positions these fights, and it does look as though bzk are going to position themselves in the Roshan pit. So the big man will be going down, the Sigil comes out just to slow the proceedings, and ACG pops his DD with Soda in support. So Rush, not long for this world. We do have a 5-man rotation here, so AAO knows what's up. They're going to start things off. The charge comes through onto Soda, but it's going to be immediately cancelled as they realize that is very, very likely to be a bait, and they're not going to take any fight there. Shadow Fiend continues just to move into the jungle, getting fairly close to his BKB. That'll be the next, well, the recipe is the last part he seeks. And bzk at the moment looking fairly healthy on the heroes. But Tusk, I think, could maybe be doing a little bit more in terms of net worth, but he provides just so much utility with just what he has that I think we can give him the slide right now. Kritzy, unfortunately, falling very, very far behind. He is behind loading his offlaner. Not exactly what you want. Loading does have that Hand of Midas as well as the mechanism as the charge begins onto Hurley in the mid lane. This is going to be a very difficult kill, and they realize that, so they will cancel the charge. Deep Ward Vision, though, is providing all sorts of information to the side of bzk, so they know exactly when things are going down. Bob Bules is hanging around here. He's going to just throw out tracks every now and then to make them aware of his presence. Hurley slows proceedings with the usage of the Ice Shards. And tier 2 taking damage just from the creeps here, so nobody really keeping track of that lane. I think Gaben Plox could move himself up there and just continue his farm towards the S and Y. Just have a look quickly what the rest of the team is doing here. bzk moving around quite a bit. Lion still, well, he's pretty much the most well, not quite the poorest here since he's about to grab his Blink Dagger, but in terms of just flat items, he's looking fairly empty, and he does get that Blink Dagger now. So just rushing the Blink Dagger in the period of the game, try and get it up and running as soon as possible. And we get a pause coming out. Looks like it might just be another lag spike. Yeah, so it is a lag spike. Decap, yeah, he's got his Blink Dagger coming out now. Tusk, he's got himself the 4-star for good utility item, can save or protect another player. Bob Yules, he's going for the Arcane Boots. I wonder what he goes for now. I mean, he doesn't have to buy the mechanism, which is usually what you see the bounty hunter go for. So maybe something cheeky like a Dagon. I mean, that could do quite a bit of work. Alternatively, he could also go for something like that. Oh, he's actually going to get charged now. So I think he realizes that, yeah, deep wards, never mind. Once again, just great vision for bzk here, letting them know exactly what's coming their way. So just back to my thoughts quickly. I think Bob Yules could go for the medallion and maybe the what is it called now? Super Medallion. I forget what the hell its name is now. As the track comes through onto Kritzy, I don't know if they really have enough to finish him off. The punch will come through, but he should be safe. He's going to throw out the shackles. Not actually going to land anything, and they're going to throw out a Shukuchi as well. Kritzy just a little bit too tanky to be finished off there. We have Gaben Plox. He's actually spotted out. He's going to get tracked up, and they do know that the Observer Wards are spotting a lot of vision here. This Observer Ward on the high ground is about to drop at the temple, and Hurley's going to get caught up by a good shackle, but Soda looks to profit big time as the Ice Shots will protect, or will actually keep Kritzy in a lot of trouble. The stun comes through, and that is looking to be the end of the fight here as Gaben Plox will go down as well. The Phoenix Stun looks to be going off, and they don't really have any way of finishing it off either. It will explode as Soda is very, very far behind, but ACG comes in now. He's going to get off a kill onto Not a Hero right off. The Echo Slam comes through. Loading looks to be the final target in this fight, and he will go down to a long Shukuchi from, sorry, a long-range shuriken from the bounty hunter. Is a 5-man wipe for the side of bzk, and they drop only their lion in response. They will be very, very happy with the way that fight went. 11-22, picking up a fairly significant advantage as well. About a 3,600 gold change and about a 6,000 XP change as well. So they have spiked their way past that 10,000 mark, and looking good to take this best to 1 here. AAO, they need to find something to do, because right now They looking very, very shaky. And I don't think they're going to be able to come back here at the moment. With bzk looking to finish off the middle tower. He's going to get a bit of assistance now from his other 2 cores. And that will be the end of the tower. Tusk grabbing the last hit there. And bzk probably going to be focusing on the tier 2 at bot lane next. Or, no, Rush is the ping. So, hero plays I don't think are possible right now for the side of AAO. They don't really have any of their big ultis available. The Phoenix Sun is down. The Not a Hero ulti on his Earthshaker is down as well. And ACG as well as Soda just going to start working on the Roshan here. No vision actually to cover this, or interesting that Bob Yules didn't actually sit in this sort of area where he can actually just spot out any vision. Gameplot's going to get caught by the eye shots. He's going to drop the ulti in here now, but I don't really know they can take this fight as Soda is going to just zone for the moment as ACG does what he can. Gaben Plox, does he get hit by the ulti? It's a bit of a whiff there by ACG in the end. It doesn't land the perfect one. Down will go the Spirit Breaker in backplay. The Tusk Snowball going to land onto Kritzy. He's been tracked up and he's got a whole lot of friends on top of him as well. He's going to go down. Another track coming through onto Not a Hero. He's going to get finished off by Bob Yules in the end. As again, AAO lose 3 off the back of a rush fight as well. And continue to just get steamrolled in these fights. 2,800 gold again going the way. Actually almost 3,000 swing total for the side of bzk, and they are looking very, very potent right now. That's harsh to say, but I just don't think AAO has really been in this game apart from a couple of those early game kills. They've really been trading, and unfortunately Bob Yules, you can't really trade against a bounty hunter. If the bounty is getting off, 1 or 2 tracks in a fight, they're definitely winning big time, and he hasn't just been getting that, he's been getting 3 or 4 at times, and it's just completely wrecking any ability for AAO to recover. And ACG, he's just going to stand here, tank the tower, and try to get as much damage done as possible. Siege creep will be finished off now as Gaben Plox comes out, pops the flak cannon, and looks like the lag continues this time. Yeah, so apparently we are struggling with service tonight as I see multiple teams reconnecting at the moment. Decap, he's got his blink tag, he's got a 4-star. And yeah, Soda. I mean, I suppose not the worst hero to have insane lag on. It's certainly not the kind of high skill cap hero that can cost you big time if you don't have the ultis available. Something like the Invoker here would be a right pain in the neck for Soda to be playing, but he's got the Juggernaut fairly tanky in its own right and should be doing quite a bit of damage. He's actually got the Monkey King boss, so he's getting straight out damage here. And I mean, he can get away with it, obviously. bzk, ACG has his BKB, so he'll be tanky. He's got the Aegis as well, mechanism to buff up, and a lot of assistance for Soda if he does get caught out. So I think he can get away with going just full ham here on the damage. Gaben Plox, has he gotten anything? Well, he's in the region. He can complete the S&Y if he wants to, but I mean, that means he's got no buyback at this stage. And it's not looking great. Kritzy gets a pretty good shackle off in the end. It lands on both ACG as well as Hurley. But I don't think the siege is going to be stopping anytime soon. AAO in very, very defensive positions here. bzk getting ready to go high ground. Bob Yules not able to make as effective use of his invisibility here. And, well, I mean, ACG is going to use the arrival of a creep wave to just jump in, go ham. He does have the Aegis, though, so he can afford this kind of play. He's going to pop that the mechanism relatively early. Out comes the Phoenix Sun. It's going to be layered on top of the cooldown as ACG will be finished off, and the ulti comes through from the Juggernaut. He's not actually going to get a whole lot of damage. He's taking stupid amounts in return, actually, from Gaben as well as Kritzy. And ACG will finish off the Phoenix. Spirit Breaker goes down and backplay to the Juggernaut, and they are hunting themselves a very, very dead Juggernaut right now. It's in jumps ACG again. He's not going to focus on Kritzy. He's going to miss that race, however. In comes the Snowball. It's going to go right onto the tier 4s, right past the tier 4s, in fact, as Kritzy's going to pop the Wind Run. He's not going to try and survive. Hurley has realized that he's in a lot bigger trouble than he expected, and he will go down here. This has, however, created enough space for the tier 3 to go down, and bzk is going to cut their losses and run 2 buybacks as well as a couple of kills. and they realize that they've done enough for now. Just retreat. Bobules will throw out the last track, and AAO will be left a tier 3 down and a couple of heroes as well. Those buybacks going to be costing a lot since the gyrocopter is a little bit further behind getting that SNY now. And bzk will just leave Shadowfiend down here all by himself. He's going to just farm out the lanes and continue to make himself an outer nuisance. He's actually got the SNY going as well, so yeah, I mean, it's still within that stage where SNY can be useful. It's not super useful, I would say. He can turn it into better items though, so I mean it's not the end of the world, but I think he could have maybe gone with a Skadi at this point of the game. 27 minutes in, it's pretty much the end of the SNY's life. It's really effective until only about, I'd say, maybe 35 minutes, and that's pushing it if you're really ahead, but you'd love to go for something bigger, so I think the Skadi might have been a better pickup here for ACG. Hurley has himself the Shadow Blade, and we have dual roaming invisible heroes, so bzk really just making an absolute nightmare here for AAO in terms of being able to spot out. And again, these deep wards are just making so much work for this side of bzk. ACG's actually got himself a haste rune. He's under a tower though. He's going to get charged now. Do they have a dust? They do have a dust, so ACG is actually going to get caught out here. He doesn't really have a lot of assistance, so he could go down. Actually, never mind. Decap blinks in and gets the stun onto the Spirit Breaker as Hurley appears from nowhere. And they get themselves a kill in the end. A well-placed eye shot is actually going to catch 2 heroes here. Gave him blocks. Forced to try and fight as best he can. Not a hero comes in with a good stun and ulti. It's not going to get a whole lot done though, just delaying things for the moment. Hurley takes quite a bit of damage, but will return quite a bit more onto the Earthshaker. Down he goes, so it's again a 3-for-0 trade. bzk immediately making their way down bot lane, where the lane is fairly pushed out, and they could realistically look at least 1 Rax going down here. Buyback is expended on Gyrocopter, so he is not available at any point of this fight, and AAO could very well lose this game off the back of that, as ACG is going to start working on the melee barracks right now. Creeps come through. They are going to expend the glyph as well. Lotus Orb actually picked up here by Bobules. I don't know if it's the best item. I suppose it'll cancel a charge or something, but out comes the Phoenix. No assistance here. Actually, the stun comes through. That might keep him alive for just long enough to die, and that'll be the end of the fight. The Soda goes through the back lines, chopping and dicing, and that will just be a lot of sushi on the side of what was once AAO's life. So there we go, 4 heroes down, and bzk is looking to finish this game as quickly as possible. Cooldown's going to come out from game clocks. It's not really going to stop ACG and friends here, as they will look to take their second tier 3 and a completed second laner rack. So it'll actually be the GG out for AAO. So a little bit of a disappointing end to their campaign here in the Gigabyte Dota 2 challenge. And they drop out in what is essentially the first round of the losers bracket. It is the best of 1, guys, so they had to win tonight to keep going, and they are unfortunately knocked out. First team in the tournament, but well played to them. I mean, they couldn't get here without going through the qualifiers, so did more than enough work, and maybe next time around they can put up a better fight. Otherwise, guys, thanks very much for watching. My name is Prophecy. I was casting for Nav TV tonight, and this is the Dota 2 Gigabyte Challenge, and thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your night. There will be some games. The winners bracket first round will be played, or sorry, the second round of the winners bracket will be played tonight, starting at 8 o'clock. Best of 3s all round. I myself will be doing the Carbon versus Duck matchup. That'll be up in, I'd say, probably around about 10 minutes. So thanks very much, guys, and catch us then. Bye bye.